Shalom. I want to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Double honor to the elders of Great Millstone. Much love and respect to all you brothers out there doing the work of sincerity and truth, striving for the hopeful elect, enduring all afflictions, and seeking out your own salvation with fear and trembling. This is Yahweh Tazah, just coming back with another video, as you see, and all brothers already know what's going on with this folly regarding this individual by the name of Druski, which is he's part of that whole streaming and internet, YouTube, TikTok influencers, just with all their buffoonery. Okay, that's all they put out there. And then this individual, he's linked up with most recent I've been seeing him with Kevin Hart and that Kai Cenat cat. So yeah, it's just coincidence, or it's all through the spirit of power Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. I made a video maybe a couple of days ago regarding these influencers, because and also these YouTube truthers that like to have their podcasts and their sit downs and talk about the Revelations 13 about the RFID chip, and knowing damn well that they heard it from us, starting with the elders of Great Millstone all the way down, and starting with Elder Tahar. So, and they're not giving credit, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, because the Lord is using them to pull in the elect still, because they're going to draw their curiosity and they're going to dig in, and those that believe, they're going to follow and suit the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. But these individuals are straight up clowns, and I can't remember who. I think Mike Epps did it one year, not too long ago. Maybe it's been more than a few years ago. He was one of the ones that made mockery too, was walking around in the garments and just being a complete demon, and thinking that it's funny. You know what I'm saying? The Lord ain't mocked. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can think and think you can get away with stuff like that. You're not. All right, so let me find the scripture to bring out. Let's see here. Should have had it ready, but it's all good. And then you could tell, like, you know what I'm saying, they're wearing the purple. So that's all who wears purple? UIC. But still, they're making a mockery of, and then you see the individual next to him to his right. What has he got on his shirt? Yahweh. You know what I'm saying? And look at them, they think everything's funny. This is Hebrew Galatians 6 and 7. Be not deceived, Yahweh is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. Right, so they're sowing mockery. They're sowing folly. And because of that, there's a reward in doing that. All right? There's a reward in doing that. And it's going to be a reward that is evil to you. There's not going to be any kind of life or benefit to your salvation, to your prosperity. It's just going to lead you down to destruction. Okay? And then brothers are already making videos, so that all that is going to just add up onto this individual and all them individuals that are out there. Okay? They have no respect for the Most High and his men on the highways and the byways. Because even within IUIC, all these other various camps, there could be the elect that is in there. They're going to come out from their false doctrines that they speak. Okay? But there's no mockery. Let me read that again. Galatians 6 and 7. Be not deceived, Yahweh is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. Let me get this other one. Let's see. It's in Peter's. This is 1 Peter chapter 4. Verse 1, for as much then as Yahushua HaMashiach has suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourself likewise with the same mind. For he that has suffered in the flesh has ceased from sin, that he no longer should live the rest of his time in the flesh to the lusts of men, but to the will of the Most High. And they're fulfilling the lust of men. They're not fulfilling the will of the Most High. This is straight up, it's all they're seeking attention, for views and subscribers, and because they're chasing after the money, right? And they're putting everything, their integrity, their self-dignity, for some money. The dude looks like a straight up clown, and he don't care. He's the type of dude that he'll bend over and get popped for some money. Like, he don't care. He has no integrity for himself. And he's chilling with Kevin Hart. We already know all the stories about that fool. And then Kaya Sinat, you know what I'm saying? He's all juiced in with everything. All these influencers and stuff like that, they're all part of Great Babylon system. The influence that they pour out into people is wickedness, evil. All of them are playing Ouija boards and they're thinking it's all for fun. Shit, I remember when back in the day when me and my homeboys would kick back and we would have fun too, and we'll discuss about things, but we not once ever put in the Ouija board. We were against that stuff. We didn't have nobody watching us. It was just amongst ourselves, and it would be a grip of us. Yeah, we would hear stories about other individuals, other crews kicking back, that kick back amongst themselves, their crew, and they would dabble in shit. And I would, and anytime they would try to come to where my parents' house was, I would be like, nah, I don't want that person here. Because I would hear the stories, I was like, nah, I don't want those people over here. So then they wouldn't invite them over. But the people that I was amongst, it was never stuff like that. Did we talk about like, things that we experienced, like seeing certain things? Yes, we did. But it was never playing around and thinking everything was just a joke. Making mockery and stuff like that of the Bible, none of that stuff. These individuals are bugged out. They're weird. My Epps did it. A lot of people done it, but that's the most prominent one that I can think of that did it was Mike Epps, and now this cat. So it goes back. Let me go back to 1 Peter 4:3. For the time past of our life may suffice us to have wrought the will of the Gentiles when we walked in lasciviousness, lust, excess of wine, revelings, banquetings, and abominable idolatries. And that's what they all do. They'll have all these big gatherings amongst themselves, these influencers, these streamers, and they do abominable acts. They have what's they call transvestites with them, and acting like they're participating in all them sexual acts. All right, and whether it be for views or not, but no telling what they be doing. Okay. So going back to 1 Peter 4:4, wherein they think it strange that you run not with them to the same excess of riot, speaking evil of you. See, they think it's weird because we're not running with them at the same excess of evil, like that they're consumed in, that they're worried about, that they chase after. This is Exodus chapter 23 and 20, or Salakia, Exodus 23:2. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to wrest judgment. Right, so you're supposed to avoid running and following after the multitudes that do evil, and that's what the elect is going to avoid. They're going to avoid these kind of people, and they're going to rebuke them and judge them, tell them their judgment through the spirit of power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, I'll finish that one here in 1 Peter's in a second. Let me get these other scriptures that are popping up in my mind regarding these buffoons. This is Psalms chapter 1. Hang on. Let's see. No, it's not in Psalms. This is Proverbs chapter 1, verse 10. My son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. If they say, come with us, let us lay wait for blood, let us lurk privily for the innocent without cause. Let us swallow them up alive as the grave, and whole as those that go down into the pit. Right. So if it was in their power, they would they would try to kill the prophets, because it's going to tear down their whole view and perspective of life, and living in the excess of rioting and drunkenness, lust, excess of wine, lasciviousness, and all abominable idolatries. You know, they would do it. And sure enough, come later on in the future, when everything pops off, a lot of people are going to try to do that, along with the Edom. Proverbs 1 and 12, it says, let us swallow them up alive as the grave, and whole as they go down into the pit. We shall find all precious substance, we shall fill our houses with spoil. Cast in thy lot among us, let us all have one purse. My son, walk not thou in the way with them. Right, so it says, let us cast in thy lot among us, and let us all have one purse. And what do they do? They're all about money. And we know what the root of all evil is money, because it reveals them, it brings them, it draws their flesh towards committing heinous crimes and acts. My son, walk not thou in the way with them, refrain thy foot from their path, for their feet run to evil, and make haste to shed blood. See, and then they like it said in 1 Peter 4 and 5, or Salakia 4, 1 Peter 4 and 4, wherein they think it strange that you run not with them in the same excess of riot, speaking evil of you, and mockery. You know, I can't stand these mother, like, for real. Like, I don't. Yeah, they're wicked as hell, especially when they start doing stuff like that, like this, and then participating in Ouija board and homosexuality. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're bugged out. 1 Peter 4 and 5, who shall give account to him that is ready to judge the quick and the dead. Right, so you're gonna have to give an account to the Most High and His Son. And anyways, 1 Peter 4 and 6, for this cause was the gospel preached also to them that are dead, that they might be judged according to men in the flesh, but live according to the Most High in the Spirit. Right, so you're going to be judged because you wanted to clown and talk down and make mockery and openly, publicly, when the scriptures tell you you're supposed to go publicly, open before the heathen to confess and honor and respect and fear of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Okay, like, this dude is a straight up clown. This dude ain't got no fear of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, but come soon you're gonna get the fear of the Most High in you. Going back to Proverbs 1 and 16, for their feet run to evil, and make haste to shed blood. Surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird, and they lay wait for their own blood, but they lurk privily for their own lives. So are the ways of everyone that is greedy of gain, which taketh away the life of the owners thereof. I'm going to finish this one in 1 Peter 4 and 7. But the end of all things is at hand. Be ye therefore sober and watch unto prayer. And that's not what they're doing. They're watching their views and their subscribers numbers go up. That's all they're concerned of. They're just worried about getting that check every week, every month, whatever it is, through YouTube, you know, all those other different platforms. That's what they concern themselves with. Okay. Let me see. Let me find his other scripture. See here. No, it's in the book of Sirach. Just give me a second. I thought it was this one right here, but this is the one that's yeah, that was not it. Let me see here. Hang on. I'm gonna have to look it up. Just give me 1 second. Let me see. Let me see. Hang on. That ain't gonna work either. Right here. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 27. Sirach 27. And I'll start at 23 because these individuals are just like this. Sirach 27 and 23. When thou art present, he will speak sweetly and will admire thy words, but at the last he will writ his mouth and slander thy sayings. I have hated many things, but nothing like him, for the Lord will hate him. Right? The Most High hates individuals like this. So they'll be all cool with you up front and probably, act like nothing. It was just all for entertainment and stuff like that, but not realizing that people take this serious. It's like when people talk about, people want to talk a certain way on the internet, but then when they go to the hood, those people out there, they're for real about what they represent, their lifestyle. But they're going to try to say, oh, well, it's just for this, it's just for that. And they get beat up or killed. So this ain't no different. So the Most High is telling you, for the Lord will hate him because he's like that. Whoso casteth the stone on high, casteth it on his own head, and a deceitful stroke shall make wounds. So he's throwing stones from on high, and it's going to come upon his own head. Verse 26, who diggeth a pit shall fall therein, and he that setteth a trap shall be taken therein. He that worketh mischief, it shall fall upon him, and he shall not know whence it cometh. But you're going to know because we're telling, you're going to remember this day. That day that you did what you did right now on the screen. Mockery and reproach are from the proud, but vengeance as a lion shall lie in wait for them. For they that rejoice at the fall of the righteous shall be taken in the snare, and anguish shall consume them before they die. Malice, wrath, even these are abominations, and the sinful man shall have them both. Okay? So mockery and reproach come from individuals like this. Bug outs, little proud individuals, like little peons. Nobodies. To me, they're nobodies. Everybody knows them in the world because of what they do, but they're really nobodies. But the Lord's going to make sure that you get paid back. But vengeance as a lion shall lie in wait for them. Okay? So these dudes, they're just a bunch of buffoons and clowns and not realizing that they're sealing up their own fate, man. They're playing with fire doing stuff like this. And the Lord ain't going to let it slide. So the brothers are already making videos. I saw it earlier this morning, and it just annoyed the hell out of me. And I was like, man, you know what? Let me make a video regarding it. And it goes out to all those influencers, all of them. You better repent. Stop playing around. Stop joking around. Don't be taking part with these individuals and doing whatever you think you can do without getting paid. Like, the Lord's going to pay you for it, man. He's going to visit you. And we're right around the corner. This ain't the time to be doing stuff like that. Y'all are worrying about money and all this stuff and viewers and all this. Even I Show Speed and all those cats. Like, you're going to get judged. All that money you got ain't going to save you. All your fans that you got ain't going to save you. Y'all are just insecure little boys. Kevin Hart too. Yeah, that motherfucker acts like a little fucking kid. Annoying. Not even funny. You're going to get judged too. So with that, I hope it was edifying. Next time, shalom.